Hello everybody, it's Ben-9 Computing, and today I'm going to do a little unboxing. I picked up a little Pine64 soldering gun. It's called the Pinecil, and it says it's a smart soldering iron. It's quite small, according by looking at the box. Oh, in case you want to see the back, it's called the Pinecil BB2. I picked it up because it got good reviews and it was cheap enough. I think it was $35, $40. I got it on that Jungle website. I have no affiliation with them, nor am I an expert at soldering, but I wanted something small, potentially portable. Not that I'm going to be doing a lot of portable stuff, but I could see this being useful. You need a battery pack. It does not come with a power cord, so you could use a barrel power cord type connector or a USB-C power connector. That much I read online, and here it is. I mean, look at this whole thing. But it'd be great if you had, if you did some soldering in a car, if you needed to solder some wires. It's got a little digital screen. Here's the barrel connector and the USB-C connector. I'm just gonna plug it into a little, like I said, a little battery. But I mean, look at that small tip, zip, zip. Heats up, they say, in about 10 to 15 seconds. Plus, minus, I mean, really simple. So that's kind of cool. And then I also got a little box of goodies from another company. Oh, there's a little guidebook here. We'll take a look at that a little later. I'll bring this over to the workshop. And by workshop, I mean my old table in the unfinished part of the basement. My workshop. Listen to me. Fancy. So this is made by Makeronics. And why did I select this? For a very important reason. It was cheap and it was on the Jungle website. So it's got lots of stuff. Look at all these pretty pictures. But we've got some of these little, it looks like bronze SOS pads, and those are to clean off the tip. We've got some lead-free wire, which I really wanted lead-free. However, this does emit some bad scent, and I'm sure it's not good for you. I hooked up, and I'll show you, a fan with a little exhaust to kind of get this, the smoke out of the way. It's senior solder. Mr. Solder to you, sir. I'm hoping it has the core that has the rosin in it, or the flux, so that it sticks. We've got some small condoms or fingertip, not burn your fingertip things. Sorry for the bad joke. Soldering paste. There we go. I need that. From what I remember of soldering, I want to start with a clean surface. So I, of course, broke something that I need to fix, but I want to test some things out first too. So first I'm going to put some soldering paste on there, heat it up, put that on there. Then I'm going to wipe it off with an alcohol wipe, and then maybe put a little bit on there to help create the bonding surface, because you really want to heat up what you're going to put the soldering iron to, and then add the soldering wire. I have seen videos where people are dabbing the soldering wire onto the soldering tip and then doing it, and I don't think that's right. I think the idea is you want to heat both elements together, whatever's on the board and that wire, so that it creates a bond, like welding. You don't see people heat up weld and then glob it on. You put it on the two pieces of metal that are budding, and well, the business, if it's an electric one. I used to do acetylene torch years ago. Ooh, here's some soldering accessories. I don't know what these soldering accessories are. Solder remover wick. Excellent. Okay, what that is, inside there's a little braided piece of wire, and if you have too much solder, which happens, or you say you solder and it's not quite right, you take the soldering iron, you put the wick in between the iron and the glob of bad stuff, hit it, it'll heat it up and sort of absorb it into this wire, and you can take it off the board without damaging the board. Here is more solder removing wick. Good, they know me. I'm gonna make a big mess out of this. Oh boy, get ready for some burnage. Ooh, here's a little holder too. It's got more of this little, this ball. Oh, these are two different ones. That's interesting. I wonder why they're two different colors. I will have to read the directions. And then a helping hand. It's one of these, you see these in picture frame stores. I don't know how useful it will be, but it's a base with some arms with alligator clips and a little magnifying glass, so that could be handy to sort of hold things in place, because I'll tell you, it is really hard to hold these teeny little wires where you want them. That can be really challenging. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of check it out. I haven't done this in a long time, oh boy, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so here's this little thing. I just kind of did a quick assembly of it, but the idea is that you'd have, say, you know, your two wires held together here, and you'd be able to see what you're actually doing through this lens, and, you know, bada boom, bada bang. Okay, I'm gonna read up in my Makertronics thing and figure out what the heck the difference is between these two little, you know, balls of goodness. Well, these are just pictures, and that's cool. Alrighty, yeah, let's go check out the other area and see if I can't melt some stuff together. Okay, sorry for the loud noise, but I wanted to make sure I had a vent that worked, so I hooked up this tubing to a 300 CFM fan, which is way overkill. But just to give you an idea, I put a little screen on here just because stuff like this, it's strong and it'll suck things right in. So hopefully this will be no problem sucking up the smoke. We'll see. So what I have here is a button that I broke the wire off of by accident, and I thought this might be a good test to see if, you know, see what we can do. Now I have the camera kind of set up so you can see what I'm doing, but I can't really see what I'm doing, so this is gonna be interesting. Alrighty, so I have the little wand here. I have it plugged into a battery pack, and I don't know how hot to make it. 400 degrees? Geez, I probably should have checked. It says DC low. I'm not sure if that means I don't have a lot of good current. I do know that this will shut itself off, and I guess it just shut itself off. So I think we have a technical issue. Let's figure out a different power source. Okay, so I have now plugged it into a 12 volt block and then into the power strip. Still says DC low, dang it. So that means it's enough power to actually do a firmware update if you want to, but it is not enough power to heat up the tip. Okay, so I tried, oh, what's this? Okay, so I tried using, like, you know, power, like a battery pack. I tried using different types of connectors, blocks from like ones that I had. Now I'm using my laptop block. Oh, there we go. That definitely did the trick. Okay, that's what it needs. It just needs a lot of juice apparently. So maybe, oh, and it's even smoking a little on the tip. I just cleaned it off with rubbing alcohol. So I'm not sure what that is. It is, oh, 420, that's what we're going for. Okay, let's just dab it in here. Let's dab it on here a little bit. Just want to kind of clean this up a little. Let's dab a little more of the soldering paste. Okay, this has an auto shut off, but I don't know that we will trigger it yet. And then I want to take an alcohol wipe and clean this off, this surface here. See if we can take off if there's anything, you know, foreign matter, debris or whatnot. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. So it's touching. Oh, I have little fibers. That's not good. Those will melt and catch on fire and fun stuff. Come on, fiber. Okay. Come on, little buddy. All right. So, let me get a little bit more of this on here. And just dabble it on a little bit. Okay, let's get going. I'm going to heat it up for a sec. Add a little solder. Simple as that. That was messy and way too much solder. Let's clean off the tip a little. Okay, let's see. Did I glob it up badly? I'm going to just unplug this little thing so I don't burn down the house. She looks like she's soldered on there. Let's disconnect and see what's what. Disconnected. Disconnected. Huh? Well, that's on there. Can't really test it, but I'm just going to assume that that is a win. Okay, great. So that's one thing. Now, for what I really want to do, I just want to test drive it. Let's test drive it on the real deal. Okay, here we go. Let's crank this thing back up again. This is a kind of a PSP knockoff. It's not a real PSP handheld game. It's a knockoff, which when I opened to check it out, I immediately broke, tore the wires off of the microphone, speaker, excuse me. So I'm just going to try to heat this up a little bit, add a little of the soldering paste, and see if I can't clean it off a little first. Okay, try not to burn my hands here. Let me get here's some rubbing alcohol. Clean off the paste, hopefully. Okay. Okay, let's put a little more soldering paste on there. Help with adhesion. Suck up the smoky smell here. Sorry for you probably hear a lot of fan noise, but I can see the smoke is being taken away. Okay, now let's put one of these wires in position. With this little contraption, that looks good. That looks pretty good. Okay, it's go time. All right, a little heat. And for some solder, get it. You really want them hot, I think, to kind of go into it here. You don't need a lot of solder. The thing is, I can't tell if the solder's sticking to the tip or to the spot I want it to actually stick in. And I think it's just sticking to the tip, which is a sign that it's probably not clean. Come on, little buddy. Oh, there we go. I think I got a little blob on there. Now let's do a little test here. It's kind of wedged in, but I wonder if I can turn on the power and see if sound works. Well, okay, we got power. I found it. Let's disconnect this little thingy while we're fiddling. Let's, okay, it's booting. It's kind of hard to see, but I'll kind of bring you around a little bit. You see there's a little screen on there. Let's just see if there's any sound. I hear sound. Okay, and that worked. So this Pine64 Pinecil soldering iron is open source, and so I did a little Googling. And sure enough, it is supposed to have Bluetooth, or it does have Bluetooth, but mine doesn't display the Bluetooth. And when you turn it on, if you hold down, I think it's the minus button, for 2 seconds, it shows you the version. And I'm running version 2.2. So I thought, hey, it'd be great. Why don't we update the firmware? So I created a little document, and I will share it with you. But first, let me just dump it. So I'm going to use cat. I'm on the command prompt, the terminal. For my Mac, which is running Linux, and I'm going to do cat, which is just kind of dumps the file, and I created a file called Pine64 Pinecil solder.txt, and at the top it says, okay, first we have to install Blisp. So we're going to git clone this repository, so let's do that. Okay, looks good, no errors. We're going to cd into the directory. Great, it's there, and we are going to update the submodules here. Come on. Oh, okay, that was awfully quick. All right, so we've cloned it. Now let's build the code. Okay, we've made some directories. That's just make dir build and... Okay, so I've downloaded the Pinecil v2.zip, and I believe I want to put it into the same... I don't know if it needs to be in this directory or if it needs to be in the executable directory. Heck, let's just do it. You'll see what I mean if all of a sudden, if I'm, okay, so we'll just say yes, or let's just say all. Okay, it probably dumped, yep, see it dumped a ton of things in this directory. So I just didn't read my thing. Oh, and I bet I'm probably supposed to unzip it in the build directory. Let's find out. I'm supposed to put it in the, probably unzip that package in the build directory, but let's see what happens. Okay, build. And then the next line is let's do a cmake on that build for current working directory. Warning. Well, warnings aren't full-on errors. So in the code on a certain line, for example, it's complaining that that is not the right, it's depreciated. Warnings are okay, they're not the end of the world. Now we have to find the BLS IP, which BLISP, okay, still doesn't seem to be there. Make file, shared static tools. Oh, is this, which is, okay, so the user has read, write, and execute on this directory. Okay. Okay, is this, okay. Okay, so we found Blisp. Here it is, and in my notes I said to chmod it, meaning change mode X, add execute for it. It already has it. If you look here, these X's, these three are user, the second three are group, and then the third three are kind of world. So user right now is me, and I have execute, but everybody has execute, and only I have the right permissions to it. So we really don't need this line. That line's kind of not really needed. Here I said extract the zip file and put that .bin file into the Blisp folder, the same as the Blisp executable. Okay. Language _en for me. It's nice it comes in lots of versions. I'm going to copy that to my present working directory. So in the present working directory, we have this executable, and we have the Pinecil bin. Great. Sorry, it's all over the place. I should probably clean that up a little, but okay. So here's what we've done. We've cloned it, we've built it, we've made it executable, which it already really was. We have unzipped this bin file or several bin files, and we have copied it to the proper directory. Now sudo means super user, do as a super user, so kind of act like root with this and write it to the pen. Let me plug the device in. I'm going to remove all these files. That's just crazy. I don't need all that. I'm going to do rm. I'm going to force it so I don't have to say yes to each file. And I'm just double checking. I don't need any of these. There we go. So clean, right? Much better. Let's go to tools. Let's go to Blisp. There she is. Okay, so there it is. There's my executable. Let's try it again. What I did, sorry, I didn't even mention what I did differently. I held down the minus button on the pencil, and I plugged it into my USB-C, and I kept holding it for about 10-15 seconds. The screen is black. They said that's what they're supposed to do. And let's see if it, oh, there we go. It did connect. Excellent. Okay, resetting the chip, flash complete. Fantastic. How to see if it's, oh, okay, upon the reboot, then hold it down, hold the minus down for 2 seconds. Okay, let's unplug it. Yeah, I just wanted to show you, see, here, oops, sorry. Here's the version 2.22e and some other letters, 5.11.23. So that's pretty neat. I now want to see what we can do with the Bluetooth functionality. So let's dig into that. We are at this website, jork.github.io.pinecil, and this interface will pair with the Bluetooth, and then you can change the temperature and actually monitor the temperature and make sure it's calibrated correctly. So first let's pair the device. I have it plugged in right now. Oop, connecting, still connecting. Let's refresh. I have it plugged in. Oh, I had to do this on Chrome, by the way. It wasn't working. Oh, there it is. It wasn't working on Safari. Also, I had to plug directly into my power supply for my laptop. There's enough power from the laptop port to do the firmware update, but not enough power to actually heat it. And you can't have any adapters in the way either. So let's kick on the heat here. Right now it's showing, that's just room temp, 28 degrees. I hit plus, and away she goes. Oh, it's cooking. Wow. Yeah, it's moving along. Look at that. Up she goes. Let's see here. I'm gonna also film this with my camera. Okay, it is up to 420, 421 on the wand, as well as it shows it there. I can kind of do this with one hand here. Sorry for if it's shaky at all. Let's crank it up a little more. 423, yeah, look at that. That is kind of cool. And I guess it'll show usage over time. It is definitely hot. Don't recommend touching it with your tongue or anything. Focus. So, kind of cool. So, I discovered that there's also another way to flash this little soldering iron with something called Pine Flash, but it didn't really work for the Mac, so I manipulated some of this code and I got it to run. So, you know, I'll post that on the GitHub, on my GitHub. Yeah, I edited a couple of the startup scripts and just installed a bunch of software. It wasn't much of a flex to get it to work, so not to worry. But yeah, here you can just, in the upper left here, maybe I'll zoom in, but you can pick your pencil. Mine's the 2. And you can pick which version you want. I already have 2.2, and I'm not sure which, those look like probably, you know, more advanced versions. I don't really want to go any further. You can do a custom one, which I kind of want to do. I've been reading up, but I haven't been able to get it to work quite the way I want. So yeah, so you pick your version, you can show some logs, and then you click update, and you will update the firmware. So just thought that was kind of neat. It runs on Linux and Windows, and it might be a little easier than some of the command line stuff. If you're on a Mac, might be a little heavier lift, I don't know. But like I said, I'll post it. Hey. So I've been trying to get this startup logo animation to work. It's kind of cool. The Pinecil will let you change kind of the start screen. You know, being open source, that's really cool. I have tried a lot of different ways to do it, and I can't get it to work. You get this IronOS-Meta repository, which is here, and I'll put the links in the description, and it's really cool. But there's some comments about doing it on a Mac, and maybe that's my problem. I don't know, but I've kind of paused on doing it. But just to show you what some of the boot up logos look like, where are they here? Oh, that's some of the images. Let's see. Could have sworn they were in here somewhere. Well, here they are, and I thought I could just see them and not have to click on them. But like, what if we just pick that one? Okay, there it is. Hard to see. Let's see how it says IronOS Super Zoom. Whoop. Okay, well, so much for Super Zoom. But yeah, it's just kind of fun. And like here's an arcade Galaga one. I thought this would be neat. It's just a little press start and a little Galaga spaceship. Super silly, and I really spent a lot of time doing it. One thing that was good about doing it is I have reloaded my Pinecil many times using Blisp and the code, and I've got that down pat. So, you know, kind of good to get your pattern down, make your notes that way, and you know, maybe whenever they come out with a new version, I will update it and I'll know the pattern. I'm trying to look at the positive here. But there is a lot of documentation. If you have a Windows box, you could do it. If you find out how to do it on the Mac, let me know, because I think it'd be fun. I'd like to kind of make my own, you know, just why not? Just because it's super silly. But I'll tell you, you know, I don't have a ton of experience with modern soldering irons. I haven't used one in ages. But I'll say I kind of like this little one. It's super light, super small, heats up fast, open source. You can get different tips. Like I just have that one tip it came with. It was pretty cheap. I'm going to give it a really good review. I really enjoyed it. I've only used it on 2 or 3 projects, but I plan on using it on more. And a lot of any issues that I've had are really my technique and not anything to do with the Pinecil. So I have no affiliation with them or anything. I just saw it, liked it, bought it. Here we are. But hey, thanks for watching the video. I hope you start soldering things too. It's a lot of fun. Okay, take care. Bye.